Well, with the title like Wicked Little Letters, what kind of film do you think this is going to be? If you think this is going to be some sort of sex comedy, you are absolutely wrong. If you think this is going to be something like, I don't know, that they would show on PBS during Masterpiece Theater, I actually think that was kind of more of maybe what they're going for. Maybe, I don't know. I can really see that they could do this here. I don't know. You probably couldn't on PBS because there's just so much bad language, but really that's the point. Wicked Little Letters is a really intriguing film that I found on Netflix and watched, and I'm glad I did, because I actually think that this film is really, it's one of those films that I was surprised, okay, here's the thing about this film. This film seems to go out of its way to say that this is some sort of true story. So as far as I know, maybe this was based on something true. I don't know. Basically, the premise is very simple. Olivia Colman is in this film. If you're not familiar with Olivia Colman, you really should be. She's a British actress that appears in a lot of high-quality stuff. Anything she's in, I really love. She's a really funny gal and is also an incredibly talented actress. I've talked several times about films she's been in and how I don't know, she's just a really good actress. And so she plays this kind of this Christian woman who still lives with her parents, and she's kind of like, I think she like reads the Bible like 5 times a day is what is even said in this film about her. So so one day her family starts receiving these letters, and these letters are completely full of foul language and berating her, and berating the family overall. So they believe that the person who did it is somebody named Rose, who lives next door, and Rose has a daughter, and she has a live-in boyfriend who is who's African American, or I'm sorry, he's black, I guess. I'm probably not using the proper terms here. This is very much a period piece. This film takes place, I believe, right after World War II. I can't really tell exactly the time period it is. But yeah, it's definitely that sort of period piece. So essentially, Rose has actually, in her backstory, has stated to people that that the father of her child died in the war. So I'm guessing this takes place either in the late 40s, early 50s, something like that. Whatever the case, yeah. So when Olivia Colman's character starts getting these just foul letters, and she has like 18 of these things, finally she just gets tired of it and reports to the cops. And the cops come in and they investigate everything, and all signs report to Rose being the culprit here. Rose is actually taken off to prison for this, which is kind of extreme, I have to say. But at the time, we were pretty conservative in how we do this. And I always kind of felt like British people can be kind of proper and stodgy, and or at least that's usually how they're depicted in usually movies and stuff like that. And maybe that culture back then was like that. I don't really know. I can't really say, but I have to say, like, okay, I kind of like where this plot is kind of going. So this is, like I said, this is based on a true story, so I don't really know how accurate that every event in this film happens here. And this is a very small story here. This is one of those films that's based on just, this isn't really a big budget film. It doesn't really have to be. Most of the budget probably went to the sets, which I guess look authentic for that time period. So anyway, so eventually Rose is released from her prison term, which doesn't look like, I don't really think they really focus much on that. Comes back to her daughter and boyfriend, and then the letters start happening again. But this time, I think these letters get sent to all kinds of people. And of course, the police can't just simply ignore this. And the police are actually very important characters in this. In fact, there's one character who's simply called a woman police officer. And I actually think like she has to be referred to as that. And this is apparently before, you know, when women were being put on the police force. And so I just think that, and they sort of are dealing with this this aspect of this, and how that the world is kind of changing here. So at one point in time, Olivia Colman's character's her mother finds one of these letters, and she suffers from a heart attack and just dies. And it's very sad, and it's very obvious though that Rose isn't doing this whole letter writing thing. And I'm going to get to spoilers. It's kind of obvious in this film, and it's revealed very midway, that Olivia Colman's character is writing these letters. And the way it's kind of found out is simply kind of how this character writes the letter G. And it's very much a handwriting sort of analysis sort of thing that reveals it. But we see that Olivia Colman's character is incredibly repressed, and I actually kind of like how this film does this. She also, her father is extremely very strict with her, and I think this sort of leads to this repression of this personality. So as a result, Olivia Colman's character is so angry at how stifling her father is that she has to lash out, and which is why she has this letter writing thing. Now, I think one of the downfalls of this film is that when Rose gets hauled off into prison for this thing, the letters apparently stop, because here's the thing, if even one letter was sent out while Rose was in prison, wouldn't that negate any aspect that Rose would be guilty? Anyway, Rose is taken to trial again, and this time the trial is she could be taken to basically 1 year of hard labor if she's found guilty, and of course separate from her daughter. And during the trial, it's found out that Rose's daughter did not have a father that fought in the war, that apparently, Rose was never married before this time, that she basically lied to everybody about this. So in the courtroom, they're trying to figure out, well, if you lied about that, what else have you been lying about? And this is kind of one of those sort of things. This is not one of those plot lines which is like a liar revealed sort of thing, which I'm actually kind of glad that this isn't one of those type of films. Thank God it isn't. It is actually done more intelligently. Also, remember I said there was like a woman police officer? Well, she actually figures out a way to trap Olivia Colman's character to make sure they catch her red-handed, in trying to send these nasty letters. And they do. And the scene is very satisfying because this woman police officer who was suspended from the case because she was poking her nose around in, and they didn't like that because they show the police officers as being pretty incompetent and also pretty stuffy and very, what's the word I'm looking for? Patriarchal, which is a big target in this movie, and deservingly so. And so I really felt like at the end, there's a really great scene that I'm going to spoil for you, where Olivia Colman is being sent to jail for what she's done. But she and Rose sort of realize that, hey, everything's okay between them, I really felt like. But the father is all like, it's okay, we'll get a lawyer, we'll get you out. And she goes, but Dad, I did it. And even if I do get out, I'm not coming back to you. And I feel like there was a great moment of joy and release in that moment, which is really good. Wicked Little Letters is a surprise to me. This is a good film and you should watch it. One of the things I like about it is because this is one of those times in which, I think that the narrative that I think is brought out by a lot of the conservative community is that Christian people are really good people, and that they are, but unfortunately some Christian people do have that judgmental aspect and are very highly repressed. And the supposed bad people have some good elements to them. Now, granted, this is a film that I feel like kind of plays with both sides, and I really feel like it does arrive at a satisfactory conclusion. And the film seems to say that, hey, the film actually kind of congratulates, it kind of pats itself on the back by saying, until this film was made, nobody knew about this real thing. So I guess it is based on a true story. I don't know. Wicked Little Letters is a good film and you should see it. It's on Netflix now. This is Mark from the Geek Church, signing off.